Translation is as ancient as the literature itself. The oldest example of translation, the Rosetta Stone, which bears inscriptions into ancient Egyptian languages, hieroglyphic and demotic, and their translations in ancient Greek. The Assyrian emperor Sargon made translated copies of the verses on his courage and praise as early as 3000 BC. Hammurabi, the king from Babylonian dynasty, made translations of his law orders. Both the West and East boast of a history of translation dating back to the ancient times. The Westerners are known to translate the Holy Bible, while the Indians translated the Vedanta. The history of translation in the West can be divided into three parts. 1. The times before the birth of Christ and up to 2nd or 3rd century AD. This period was the time of literary and religious translation. The literature and texts were translated from Hebrew to ancient Greek. By the 5th century, the Old Testament was translated to ancient Greek, and the epics, tragedy, comedy, songs, prose narratives, etc. were translated. 2. The period between 5th century to 15th century can be called the dark times of European history. However, some books were translated in Latin and Greek. 3. The Renaissance and modern era. The translations started gathering momentum from these times. Up until the Second World War, mostly the poetry were the aim of translation. Later they spread to various disciplines such as science, law and order, banking, technical, etc.
The term translation comes from the verb to translate. The root of the word is Latin. It derives from the Latin word translatio, which in turn comes from trans, meaning across, and latus, a derivative of the verb fere, which means to fetch. Thus, translatio, or translation in English, is to fetch across or to carry across.
Anuvad is a Sanskrit compound consisting of the terms anu and vad. It comes from the Sanskrit language. Anu is a prefix which means afterwards or later, and vad means to speak. Thus, anuvad is to speak afterwards. In the Sanskrit English dictionary by Sir Monier Williams, the meaning of anuvad is given as saying after or again, repeating by way of explanation. Explanatory repetition of translation. Thus, we can say, translation or anuvad is to explain the essence of a text from one language to the other. It is a creative art. A translation is only successful when the translator is well versed in language skills, artistic and logical dimensions, and creative arts.
Welcome to our deep dive into the world of translation. From literary to legal, medical to e-commerce, translation is the key to breaking down barriers and connecting the world. In this series, we'll explore the different types of translation that make global communication possible and how each one plays a vital role in today's interconnected world. Whether it's adapting software, translating marketing materials, or localizing websites, accurate, culturally aware translation is what makes all the difference. So let's unlock the power of language and see how translation shapes the way we connect, create, and grow. Literary translation is more than just converting words from one language to another. It's the art of taking the soul of a story from one culture and shaping it into a digestible, meaningful experience in another. This form of translation focuses on published literary works, from powerful novels, insightful publications, to complex higher education texts. It's where language meets literature and translators become storytellers. Legal translation is all about precision. It involves translating documents where every word matters, and the stakes are high. This includes company-employee contracts, client agreements, terms of service vendor contracts, and even complex judicial and juridical documentation. In legal translation, accuracy isn't just important, it's critical. Commercial and financial translation is all about reworking the core details of banking, economics, and business operations into clear, accurate language. It ensures that critical information reaches stakeholders with precision and professionalism. This category includes partner, vendor, and contractor documents, banking statements, payment records. When money talks, translation makes sure it's speaking the right language. Medical and healthcare translation is not just about language, it's about lives. Translating professional medical materials demands absolute precision, because when people's health is on the line, the translation must be 100% accurate. This includes clinical trial documentation, medication information and warnings, patient history records. From medicine to healthcare, from pharmaceuticals to biotechnology, this translation field leaves no room for error. Technical translation is the bridge between complex data and clear understanding. It involves translating scientific and technological information, the kind that often forms the foundation for innovation and future planning. Every detail must be clear, concise, and correct. This includes technical writing, coding documentation, owner's manuals, user guides. When technology speaks, technical translation makes sure it's understood globally. In the age of global e-commerce, reaching your customers means speaking their language. E-commerce translation ensures your brand connects across markets with content that feels local, relevant, and trustworthy. This includes landing pages, product descriptions, customer reviews, blog posts. It's not just about accuracy, it's about SEO friendliness, cultural awareness, and building trust with every word. Because in e-commerce, translation doesn't just translate, it sells. Marketing translation is where language meets strategy. It's not just about translating words, it's about adapting your message to resonate with local audiences while staying true to your global brand identity. Every slogan, every sentence must strike the right balance, culturally relevant, linguistically accurate, and emotionally compelling, because great marketing translation doesn't just communicate, it connects. Global software products don't just need to be translated, they need to be localized. Software localization is the process of adapting a product to the customs, conventions, and preferences of the target market. And at the heart of this process is software translation, translating text strings in the user interface, along with any supporting documentation. But localization goes beyond just words. It includes adapting visuals, user experience, functionality, and other non-textual elements to feel natural for each region. Because in software, true success means feeling local, no matter where you're from. Within software localization, there's a key focus area, app translation. It's the process of translating the text content of mobile applications, ensuring users everywhere get a seamless experience in their own language. This includes user interface elements like buttons, menus, and error messages, in-app content such as product descriptions, help pages, and even marketing copy. In a global mobile world, app translation makes sure your app feels right at home in every language. Website translation is a key part of going global online. As a subset of website localization, it focuses specifically on translating the textual content of websites, not the visuals or functionality. From blog posts and articles to landing pages and product descriptions, every word matters. And that's why website translation must be accurate, SEO-friendly, engaging, and natural sounding, all while being adapted to the customs and preferences of each target market. Because in today's world, your website speaks for your brand, so make sure it speaks the right language. And that's a wrap on our journey through the world of translation. From literary works to medical records, from e-commerce to software, each type of translation plays a crucial role in bridging cultures, breaking barriers, and making the world a smaller place. Remember, in our globalized world, the right translation doesn't just convey meaning, it connects, adapts, and builds trust. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content.
Hi friends. Welcome back to TransLearnTube. Today, we are diving into something every translator must understand: context in translation. Trust me, if you are aiming for a meaningful and accurate translation, context is your best friend. As a translator, understanding the context is crucial for delivering accurate and engaging translations. Without considering the context, your translations can sound robotic, inaccurate, or even offensive. Imagine searching for translation online. You'll find a wide range of content related to the word, each with its own unique context. A translator who doesn't take context into account might produce a translation that's completely out of place or even misleading. So, the next time you are translating, remember to always consider the context and deliver translations that are not only accurate but also meaningful and engaging. Alright, so what is context? In the translation, context refers to the circumstances or setting in which a word, phrase, or sentence appears. It's not just about translating individual words, it's about translating their meanings in relation to the text, culture, and situation they are used in. There are different types of context we need to consider. Let's break them down quickly. This is about the surrounding words or sentences. The meaning of a word often depends on the sentence it's in. For example, the word bank could refer to a financial institution or the side of a river depending on the linguistic context. This deals with the situation in which the communication is happening. Is it formal or informal? Spoken or written? For instance, a formal letter will use different expressions compared to a casual text message. Culture plays a massive role in how things are expressed. Certain phrases, idioms, or references might make sense in one culture but get lost in another. Translating these requires cultural sensitivity and creativity. Contextual translation is the process of interpreting the full meaning of the source text and taking into account relevant background information before reproducing the same meaning text in another language. Now, you might be wondering, why is context such a big deal? Well, let's face it, without considering context, a translator struggling with a literal translation that doesn't make sense, and then switching to a context-aware translation that fits perfectly. Imagine translating an advertisement for a product without understanding the cultural connotations in the target language. What's meant to be catchy and relatable could end up confusing or inappropriate. So how do you, as a translator, make sure you are always considering context? Here are a few practical tips. Deep understanding of the source text. A translator must have a thorough grasp of the source text, including its vocabulary, grammar, syntax, idioms, and cultural nuances. Specialized translators for complex texts. For industry-specific texts, example legal, technical, medical, it is crucial to use specialized translators who are familiar with the specific jargon and textual norms of that field. Importance of context. Accurate translation requires understanding both the linguistic and situational context. Without this, significant meaning can be lost. Limitations of machine translation. Machine translation often fails to capture the nuances of context, making human translation essential for accuracy. Skilled human translators. Only experienced human translators can accurately interpret and translate texts by considering the broader context in which they are used. To sum it up, context is king in translation. It helps you make better word choices, keeps your translation accurate, and makes sure your audience gets the intended message. So, the next time you are translating something, remember to think about the bigger picture. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And hey, leave a comment below with your most challenging translation story. I'd love to hear about it.
Ever wondered who a translator really is? A translator is not just someone who swaps words from one language to another. They're a bridge between cultures, ideas, and worlds. A translator is a person who converts written text from one language to another, but they don't just focus on the words. They ensure that the tone, style, and meaning of the original text are preserved, so that the message stays clear, natural, and authentic in the new language. It's more than just language. It's about understanding, adapting, and conveying the heart of the message. What are the roles of a translator? It's more than just converting words. A translator is a language expert, fluent in at least 2 languages. They act as a cultural bridge, adapting content to fit local customs. They preserve the tone and style of the original text, ensure contextual accuracy, and work as proofreaders to deliver polished, error-free translations. They also research terms and maintain confidentiality. In short, translators connect people, ideas, and cultures, one word at a time. Translators play a vital role in global communication. They convert written text from one language to another, helping people who speak different languages understand each other clearly. In a world of diversity, translators make connection possible. Translators help bridge cultural gaps, not just by translating words, but by conveying the deeper cultural nuances and context behind the text. They ensure that meaning, emotion, and intent are fully understood across languages and cultures. Translators often specialize in specific subject areas like law, medicine, or technology. This means they need a deep understanding of the terminology and concepts within that field to ensure accuracy and clarity in every translation. Translators often wear more than one hat. They also act as editors and proofreaders, making sure the translated text is free of errors, reads naturally, and flows smoothly. Translators may also take on project management roles, coordinating with clients, setting deadlines, and even overseeing the work of other translators to ensure consistency and quality throughout the project. With technology transforming the translation industry, translators today are expected to be tech-savvy, familiar with computer-assisted translation tools, machine translation, and localization software. These tools help improve speed, consistency, and overall efficiency in their work. The world of translation is evolving fast. It's no longer just about knowing 2 languages. It's about being fluent in tools, tech, trends, and human understanding. In this video, we'll break down the top skills every translator needs in 2025 to stand out, succeed, and stay ahead of the curve. Let's dive in. First up, deep linguistic understanding. It all starts with native-level fluency in your target language. That means mastering grammar, syntax, and style. But it doesn't stop there. Great translators pick up on nuance, adapt to different writing styles, and write with clarity and polish. Language is your instrument. Learn to play it with precision. Modern translators don't just translate, they optimize. That's where CAT tools come in. Platforms like SDL Trados, MemoQ, and cloud-based solutions help streamline your workflow. Managing translation memories and terminology databases ensures consistency and efficiency. If you're not using CAT tools yet, 2025 is the year to start. Machine translation, it's powerful, but not perfect. It can dramatically improve quality by understanding its limitations, post-editing with skill, and even training custom MT engines. The future isn't man versus machine. It's man plus machine. And smart translators know how to leverage both. To translate well, you need to know what you're talking about. Subject matter expertise lets you navigate industry-specific jargon and complex ideas. Strong research skills and staying up to date with trends and terminology make you the go-to expert in your niche. Translation is not just about words, it's about knowledge. Translation without cultural context? Risky. Successful translators adapt content to suit local norms, preferences, and avoid cultural slip-ups. Whether it's humor, idioms, or design, localizing with sensitivity builds trust and impact. Remember, it's not just what you say, it's how and where you say it. In translation, accuracy is everything. That's why sharp research skills matter. The best translators verify facts, analyze context, and know where to find reliable sources fast. Each project is different, and every detail counts. Dig deep, check twice, and always translate with clarity and confidence. Translation is a people business. You'll work with clients, editors, and sometimes entire teams. Clear communication helps you understand expectations, give feedback, and negotiate effectively. Soft skills matter just as much as technical ones, especially when deadlines and collaboration come into play. The translation industry never stands still, and neither should you. Embrace new tools, explore emerging fields, and stay curious. From AI integration to new content types, flexibility is your ticket to long-term relevance. Adapt, grow, and keep learning, because the best translators never stop evolving. Trust is everything. That's why top translators hold themselves to high ethical standards, protecting confidentiality, following industry codes, and ensuring fair, unbiased translations. Your integrity builds your reputation, and that's your most valuable asset. And there you have it, the top skills every translator needs in 2025. From deep language mastery to cutting-edge tech skills, the future belongs to those who blend tradition with innovation. So, which of these skills are you already crushing? And which ones are next on your list? Drop a comment below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more tips on building a successful language career. Thanks for watching, and keep translating with purpose.
Before beginning any translation project, it's crucial to establish the specifications. This involves understanding the text type, whether it's technical, literary, or legal, and identifying the target audience, which can range from industry professionals to the general public. The purpose of the translation must be clear, whether it's for informative, persuasive, or instructional use. Additionally, the format of the final document is key, as it may require adaptation for digital, print, or multimedia platforms. Reference materials, such as glossaries or style guides provided by the client, should be consulted to maintain consistency. Finally, the tools used, from translation software to dictionaries, must be chosen wisely. These specifications ensure that the translation process is tailored to the client's needs and that the final product meets all expectations. Terminology is the backbone of a successful translation. The first step is research, understanding the specific terms used in the source text and how they should be accurately rendered in the target language. This might involve reading up on the subject matter or consulting specialized dictionaries. Creating a glossary is essential, particularly when working with technical or industry-specific texts. A glossary ensures consistency in term usage throughout the translation and serves as a reference for ongoing and future projects. If the client provides resources, such as an existing glossary or preferred terminology, these should be integrated into the translation process. This meticulous approach to terminology helps maintain the precision and clarity of the translation. The core of the translation process is producing a text in the target language that faithfully communicates the meaning of the source text. This goes beyond simply converting words. It involves capturing the nuances, tone, and intent of the original. Translators must consider the specifications, ensuring that the translated text is appropriate for its intended audience, purpose, and format. This phase requires a deep understanding of both the source and target languages, as well as the cultural contexts they represent. The goal is to create a translation that reads naturally in the target language while staying true to the original message. Editing is a critical step in the translation process, where the translated text is compared against the source text. This phase ensures completeness. Nothing should be added or omitted, and accuracy, where the meaning and information are preserved. The editor checks for style and register, making sure the tone is appropriate for the target audience and purpose. Consistency is another key focus, particularly with terminology and formatting, while readability ensures that the translation flows smoothly and is easy to understand. This thorough review helps eliminate any errors or inconsistencies, refining the translation to meet the highest standards. Proofreading is the final check before the translation is delivered. Here, the focus is on the target text itself, with attention to details like typography, spelling, grammar, and punctuation. This step ensures that the translation is free of errors that could affect its readability or professionalism. Consistent usage of terms is also verified, along with the overall presentation of the text. Proofreading might seem like a small task, but it's essential for delivering a polished and professional translation. It's the last line of defense against mistakes that could undermine the quality of the work. Proper formatting is essential to ensure the translation not only reads well but also looks professional. This involves checking for consistency in fonts and emphasis, such as bold or italics, as well as bullets or numbering. Spacing between lines and paragraphs, margins, and the alignment of graphics and tables are also reviewed to ensure they match the original layout. Colors used in the text or graphics must be consistent with the source material, maintaining visual coherence. Good formatting enhances the readability and overall presentation of the translated text, making it more effective and visually appealing. Verification is a quality assurance step where the final version of the translation is compared with the original text and the initial specifications. This comparison ensures that the translation meets all the requirements set out at the beginning of the project. It's not just about accuracy but also about ensuring that the translation adheres to the agreed style, tone, and format. Any discrepancies are addressed at this stage to ensure that the translation is of the highest quality. Verification is a critical step that guarantees the translation is ready for delivery and fully aligned with the client's expectations. Delivery is the final stage of the translation process, where the completed translation is sent to the client. It's essential that the translation is provided in the agreed format, whether it's a Word document, PDF, or another digital format. It meets the agreed specifications, including any special formatting or layout requirements. Timeliness is also crucial. Meeting the agreed delivery date is a key part of maintaining professional standards. Upon delivery, the client should receive a polished, accurate translation that is ready for immediate use, whether for publication, presentation, or internal use. This final step concludes the translation process, ensuring client satisfaction and the successful completion of the project.